The Birmingham Stallions lifted the trophy, and the network executives were celebrating as well after a solid ratings performance from the league this season. The TV ratings this year were a huge win for the UFL. Despite a shaky rollout, the league did catch eyeballs, and it was especially helpful that most of the games this past season were on over-the-air networks like ABC and Fox.
I think it's a great product. There's entertaining rules. I think the fans love the opportunity to hear see behind the curtain, so to speak, to listen to the conversations. I don't know how many coaches would vote for that, but I think, I know a lot of people in the media and on television love it. But I think it's entertaining football, and it is an entertaining product on the field as well. So yes, I think spring football is definitely trending in the right direction. And I think everybody involved has to be really excited with the viewership, with the outcome, and what the future holds. I think is really exciting for the spring leagues.
Skip was right. The June 16th championship game on Fox averaged nearly 1.6 million viewers and peaked at 1.7 million viewers, according to Mike Mitchell of Sports Illustrated. He points out in his SI article that beats the 2023 XFL championship that aired on ABC and the 2023 USFL championship that aired on NBC. It also topped the 2022 USFL championship that aired on Fox, and that beats a modern spring football ratings record. Question is, will another season of the UFL build on these ratings, or was this the height that the UFL could reach and maybe topped out? It's hard to see the audience growing a huge percentage, but stability and keeping these games available on networks plus some good marketing could certainly help keep the numbers up in 2025. And speaking of marketing and numbers, that was a huge loss for the UFL in 2024, and things have to change in 2025. Even in what was labeled the football-crazy fan base of St. Louis, the XFL championship game drew 30,000 fans, which is good, but not great considering the team averaged 34,000 fans per game with a modern spring football record of more than 40,000 fans for the home opener. So why did 10,000 fewer fans show up for the first playoff football game in 2 decades in St. Louis? The UFL championship held in the Dome without the Battlehawks and apparently without the Battlehawks fans, as they drew only a reported 27,000 fans, and that was most likely paid attendance. It was much less than that. Still, let's be clear here. St. Louis was not the problem in the UFL as far as attendance goes. There's some real issues at the bottom of the league. The most glaring was the weak turnout for the Michigan Panthers at Ford Field. By the way, the Panthers were pretty good, coming just one win away from going to the UFL championship before losing to the Birmingham Stallions in front of a reported 10,000 fans in the USFL championship game at Protective Stadium. Let's talk about that. Birmingham Stallions fans were supposed to pack Protective for that USFL championship, but it was far from packed, even though Birmingham had back-to-back league championships and hosted the game that would send them to a third league title game. The Stallions' home stadium failed to provide the home field advantage the team would have liked to have had. That said, the Stallions were fourth in regular season attendance with about 51,000 total fans in the regular season, at least tickets sold as I understand, and tops in the USFL conference for home attendance. The Panthers, sixth in the league and averaging just over 8,000 per game for the 5 home games at Ford Field. That was followed by the Houston Roughnecks with an average of just more than 7,000, and Memphis last in the league, averaging about 6,800. So what changes will the league make in 2025? Well, there are a few that need to be made. Question is, how far will the UFL go? For Houston, whose fan base got the worst of the merger deal with a rebranded team that was one of the worst in the league, returning to where the actual XFL Roughnecks played in 2020 and 2023 might help. A lot of fans expressed their displeasure with Rice Stadium, which didn't even feature the UFL logo on the field, and a return to TD-ECU Stadium might bring back some fans that were lost in 2024. For Memphis, nothing seemed to go right, and a revamping of the team might work to bring back some of those Showboats fans in 2025. There is a much tougher question that needs to be answered for the Michigan Panthers. A lease at Ford Field with a turnout of 8,000 fans is not viable for the UFL or any league for that matter. I talked about this in a video earlier this season, and some people pushed back on the idea of relocating the Panthers. Now, I can see the argument for and against. Staying in Detroit, even in Ford Field, could show that the league has stability. Leaving Detroit, or even Ford Field, might show a lack of dedication to a market and fans are going to feel burned. However, Can the league afford to throw good money after bad? Now, I've waffled on my opinion with Detroit, and I'm leaning toward giving the Panthers and Ford Field one more chance in 2025, but then it's time to make a much tougher decision if the results are the same. Now, I think from top to bottom, every team can have a much stronger local marketing effort, and that needs to start right now. It does not need to start when they're trying to sell tickets before kickoff in 2025. Overall, you take the good and the bad, and you still have a merged league that saw some great games, some great TV ratings, and as a lot of us who have followed alt football over the decades, a great sign that the league is actually viable because we did see a championship game. Now, let's take some of this positivity into the offseason, but let's hope the league addresses some of the shortcomings it suffered as well. As we head to the offseason, I'll have some alt football videos from time to time, so be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll know when the next video is posted. Then we will crank it back up before UFL kickoff in 2025. Thanks for tuning in all this season, and look for more right here.